You inherited a Florida house with your siblings. One of you wants to keep it, one of you wants to sell it, and one of you won't even answer a text message. So now what? If that's where you are right now, take a breath because you are not alone and you are not stuck. This happens to families all over South Florida every single week. I'm Anthony ASTOLFI. I'm a licensed Florida real estate sales associate and I run Home Rescue Team. We help South Florida families sell homes through every situation life throws at them: probate, inherited property, foreclosure, divorce, code violations, you name it. And some of the hardest situations we deal with aren't about the house at all. They're about the people who inherited it together. So let's talk about why inheriting a house with your siblings turns into a war so fast. When a parent passes away, the house usually doesn't go to one person. It goes to all the children equally. On paper, that sounds fair. In real life, it's a recipe for a standoff because now you've got 2, 3, maybe 4 people who each own a piece of the same house, and every single one of them has to agree before anything can happen. And here's the real problem. You're not just splitting a building, you're splitting memories. One sibling grew up in that house and can't imagine letting it go. Another one lives out of state and just wants their share in cash. Another one is going through money trouble and needs that equity yesterday. And maybe one of them has gone quiet, not answering calls, not signing anything, holding the whole thing up without even meaning to. Meanwhile, the clock is running. Property taxes are still due. Insurance is still due. The lawn still needs cutting. If there's a mortgage, that payment is still coming every month. And all of that is draining an estate that nobody's agreed on how to handle. So the house just sits there, losing money, straining relationships for months, sometimes for years. It does not have to go that way. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through your real options and exactly how families break the deadlock without breaking up the family. Okay, you and your siblings own this house together. Realistically, you've got 4 paths forward. Let's go through each one. Option 1, the buyout. One sibling wants to keep the house, so they buy everybody else out. Let's say the house is worth $300,000 and there are 3 of you. Each share is roughly $100,000. So the sibling who's keeping it has to come up with $200,000 to pay the other 2. Most people don't have that sitting in cash, so they'd refinance or take a loan against the property. This works great when one sibling genuinely wants the house and can actually qualify for the financing. If they can't, this option falls apart fast. Option 2, the joint sale. Everybody agrees to sell, you list it together, and you split the proceeds. This is the cleanest path, and it's the one we always hope for. The catch is that one word, everybody. Every owner has to sign. If even one sibling won't agree or won't sign, the sale is dead in the water. And if the house needs repairs before it'll sell on the open market, now you're all arguing about who pays for those too. Option 3, the partition action. This is the legal nuclear option. If the siblings can't agree, any one owner can take the others to court and ask a judge to force the sale of the property. And the judge will order it. But understand what that costs you. Partition actions can take 6 months to over a year. They run thousands of dollars in legal fees that come straight out of everybody's share. And they can permanently destroy the relationship between you and your siblings. Sometimes it really is the only way. It should always be the last way. Option 4, the cash sale fast track. This is where a lot of families land when they just want it over with. You sell the house as is, no repairs, no cleanouts, no agent commissions, to a direct buyer. The proceeds get split cleanly between the siblings, usually in a couple of weeks instead of a couple of years. No holding costs piling up while you wait. No fighting over what to fix. And for a lot of families, the real value isn't just the speed. It's that it finally takes the house off the table as a thing to argue about. So which path is right for you? That depends on your family. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. Let me give you an example of how this actually plays out, because I see it constantly. 3 siblings inherit a house in Pembroke Pines. The oldest lives in the house and doesn't want to leave. The middle sister lives in Georgia and just wants her share. And the youngest had stopped answering everyone's calls because every conversation had turned into a fight. For almost a year, nothing happened. The taxes kept coming. The insurance lapsed. The house started slipping. Everybody was angry and nobody was moving. What finally broke the logjam wasn't a lawyer. It was a different conversation. So here's the communication script I'd give you if you're stuck in the same place. Don't lead with what you want. Lead with the shared problem. Instead of, I want to sell, try this. We're all losing money every month this house sits here, and none of us wants that. Can we agree on a number that's fair to everyone and just be done? Take the emotion out and put the math on the table. Then give the sibling who wants to keep it a real chance to buy the others out with an actual deadline. And if that can't happen, agree together to sell, split it evenly, and move on with your lives. In that Pembroke Pines family, once everyone saw the number and saw how much they were each bleeding every single month, they agreed to a clean as-is sale. It closed in a few weeks. Each of them walked away with their fair share. And just as important, they were still speaking to each other afterward. That's the goal, not just selling a house, keeping a family. So here's where I come in. At Home Rescue Team, we help South Florida families work through exactly this: an inherited house, multiple siblings, and no easy agreement. We'll lay out your options with real numbers, talk to every sibling fairly, and if you decide to sell, we handle the paperwork and the whole process from start to finish on your timeline. If you're stuck in this right now, go to homerescueteam.net and reach out. It's a free, no pressure conversation, just honest answers about where you stand. And if this helped, do me a favor and hit subscribe. We put out new videos every week to help South Florida families navigate exactly these situations. I'm Anthony ASTOLFI with Home Rescue Team, and I'll see you in the next one.